He was here for Shabbos.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Today is Daf Chodalad Sekas Yivamas. So we're discussing yesterday Safek Kedushin, and then those who, if they die, in terms of Chalitza and who does it, the brothers. So we got to the two dots on top. Kidmu v'kinsu emotziyah. So you have two sets of brothers. I think that's the case. The one set does chalitza. Oh yeah, Kadmu, right? Could be his birthday today. I don't know. Anyway, no. So right. So the two of them do chalitza, and then the other two, right? Instead of one doing shkech, thank you very much. Instead of one doing chalitza, one doing then even they both marry them both. So Tani Shila and the Afilu Shneim Kohanim. Even if both of them are Kohanim, meaning what? Meaning they both do it, and therefore one of them is a chalutza. Now a chalutza, right, is like a grusha that she's forbidden to a kohen. So if one of them is guaranteed to be a chalutza, nevertheless, both of them stay. My time, a chalutza d'Rabbanan. The savi chalutza lagazi Rabbanan. So a chalutza is only d'Rabbanan. And if it's a savi chalutza, because we don't know which wife was the actual chalutza. So the Rabbanan were not going in such a case. I chalutza Rabbani.
Yeah.
The chalutza Rabbani. I vatanya grusha. It says grusha eli yala grusha chalutza manayeh tamalamer v'isha. It says v'isha. So we learn from there that's a chalutza. So the chay they bring a pasuk. The Gemara says no. No, it's only the Rabbanan. It's not the B'yalma. It's not the real source. It doesn't say chalutza. Rather, we learn it from the darshan from v'isha. And therefore, says this Gemara holds that it's only in a smachta, it's a smachta from the pasuk, and therefore it's only a derabanan.
How does that drasha work?
It says because who's the other woman? It says the Isha. Who's the other woman we're referring to? Right. So right. So therefore that comes to include somebody else, and it comes to include a chalutza. Fine. Na'im Mishnah. Mishnah says, mitzvah b'gadol yabim v'imkidim hakotan zacha. There's a mitzvah for the older brother to do yibum, but however, if a younger brother does it, then he's zech. If he does it, yeah, he's coming in, he's out of town, and he's going to come in to go ahead and he has a flight. He's coming in next Tuesday to do Yibum. The other brother says, no, I'm going to go ahead and do it because we'll soon see that you also inherit the brother's assets, right? The guy was a rich guy, the dead brother.
And going through BS, so every time first.
So he is, he can be. So tell her about it. V'haya b'chor. It says V'haya b'chor. So the pasuk says over here, V'haya b'chor shel teled yakum al shem achiv. Right, the b'chor sounds like who was born. He should go ahead and take the wife of the brother. Right. It says in his name will not be erased from Israel. Right. So it says b'chor. Right. It doesn't say oldest. It says remember there's going to be b'chor and gadol. Right. So it says b'chor. From here, so we learned that the word bechor comes to teach you that the mitzvahs with the oldest one. Asher teled, it says that will give birth to islandess. So this excludes it if the widow is an islandess that he doesn't take her. Shein yolevis, right? Shein yolevis exclude islandess who can't give birth. Yokum al shem achiv. They'll replace al shem achiv l'nachla for inheritance. In other words, he will go ahead and inherit his brother. So the brother that dies, and then the other brother is Yibum, he goes and takes all his possessions. Do you say it means for his inheritance? Or the shem Yosef or the shem Yosef right? Or maybe it means what is it? Yakum al shem achiv means they have to name him. There's a halacha. You name him after his father or after his mother's after the brother. So Nemar kan Yakum al Shem Achiv. It says over here, Yakum al Shem Achiv. Nemar lahalon al Shem Achehem Mikro. It says over there by Fermanasha al Shem Achehem Mikro benachla sam. Right, with their inheritance. So Ma Shem Omer lahalon Ma Shem Omer lahalon nachla. Just like Shem, that was over there was for inheritance. Fermanasha. So Shem Omer kan nachla. So over here, the word Shem comes to teach you that you go ahead and you inherit the dead brother's possession. That's what it means. That's what the pasuk means. V'lo yimchas shemo, and says, and his name will not raise, right? Except for a sris, if he was a sris, if he was somebody who couldn't have children, then you're not erasing his name because his name was already going to be erased because he wasn't able to have children. So therefore, if the one who died was a sris, he's excluded from Yibum. So that's how we darshan that pasuk. Amar Rava says Rava. Says Rava. Even though normally we don't have the pasuk leave the pasuk pshat. Over here, the Gzeir Shava comes to remove the right the straightforward meaning, the pasuk meaning of the pasuk, right? Because the pasuk says al shem aviv sounds like you name the kid after the father, right, or the mother's first husband, the brother. But then it says no, he's coming to teach al shem achiv means that you inherit, right, his possession. So Gemara says I believe a Gzeir Shava havamina shem mamish. Wait, if it wasn't the Gzeir Shava, would have thought the word shem is shem mamish. So Laman Hazad Rachmana, right? Liyav, right? So excuse me, Rachmana. So who is the pasuk talking to? Right? The pasuk says, "Vayavachor asher teled yakum al shem achiv." Now, who is the pasuk talking to? If you wanted, let's try and figure out the pasuk. If it's liyavav, if it's telling us a commandment to the brother, it should say yakum al shem achicha. It should have said your brother, right? If we're talking to the yavav, right? That you're going to hear that it's talking about your brother. It should have said your brother, not achiv. It should have said achicha. And if it's telling the Beis Din, make sure that he goes ahead and that they name, right, that he takes her and names the child. Yakum al shem achi aviv miboyle. It shouldn't be achiv, right? It should be about that you give the shame, right? You give the name to the father's brother who's deceased. Maybe this is what it means. Rachmana the basin. Really, the Torah started the basin. Amrle leyavam. They're telling the basin to say to the yavam yakum hashem achiv, that he should go ahead and be yakum hashem achiv. He should go ahead and have a name for his brother, and therefore the pasuk says maybe the pasuk is telling the basin to make sure that the son, right, who the baby was born, right, is named after his father's deceased brother. So Allah says, therefore the Gzeir Shava comes and removes it from the Pashup Shah. Tell you that has nothing to do with naming, rather it has to do with teaching you that the brother who takes the Yavama, he goes ahead and takes his inheritance. Now, but now they were saying that the pasuk was talking about begadol, right? The word bechor, right? The first church of bechor. So it says mikan l'mitzvah yavim, right? So ema bechor liyavam, pasha liyavam. Maybe it means like this. Maybe only a bechor. Now remember, bechor is the firstborn of the father. Okay, there's bechor and there's got to be gadol, the oldest, right? In other words, for instance, let's say the bechor died, so there is no longer a bechor, right? There's only a gadol. There's the oldest of the brothers, right? All right, or a sister. Says maybe if there's bechor, then there's the mitzvah yibum, but pasha la yibum, right? But there's a regular brother, then there's no yibum. So he came. Good question. If that's the case, that only bechor, so we had a pasuk, right, to exclude an eishes achish, right? That if he was born years later, after his older brother was married and died, he's patur from yibum. Now wait, the one who was born years later obviously is not a bechor, right? Why do you need a pasuk to exclude a kid who didn't live the same time as his older brother because he was 20 years younger if he's already excluded because he's not a bechor? There's no mitzvah on him. So why did the pasuk exclude? It must be this. It's part of the mitzvah. Shayif. So the mir rachman lam. So parech ravacha I yutay bucha dima. Maybe it coming to exclude that maybe the child was born 20 years later, even though yes, he wasn't the bechor of the father, but maybe he was still a bechor. He was a bechor of the mother. It was the mother's first child. You can't say that way. Right? That is with another yibum is.
If the guy died, then the next brother does it. So if he's the oldest, the guy who died is the oldest.
Yeah.
Then his next older brother would be first. Is that correct?
Yeah, but he's not a bechor. Right. So we wanted to know. Right now, we're trying to maybe just say the mitzvah yibum only applies to a bechor. Yeah. There's no yibum. There's no mitzvah there. Right. So the Lord says, Diva benachal tarachmana benachal menabel name. No, there's no havami like that because which
That's according to whom?
This is just a havami.
this is a havami. We're trying to figure out. Yeah. So we're trying because the pasuk says the word bechor. It doesn't say gadol. It says bechor. So why does it say bechor? Right? Bechor is a halachas when it comes to bechor. It doesn't just mean oldest, right? It means the oldest.
Son, not the brother.
Right? No. Right. But the pasuk says right. The hayah bechor shir teled yokum hashem achi. No, but that's referring to their he should be Yaakov al Shem Achiv. So the Gemara says, "I've emaki kabachor tiskay Mrs. Yibam." Maybe when there's the bechor, there's a Mrs. Yibam. Ki like a bechor, but it's got Mrs. Yibam. Maybe there is no mitzvah Yibam at all. Not just right. In other words, there's no mitzvah. So Makra umeis echad mehem. It says one of them died. So Milos Kin the meis bechor. So it says one of them died. So are we not dealing with the bechor died, and still the pasuk is still telling you to go ahead and do Yibam.
Percent of four brothers, and one of the other that is not Bechor died, then the Bechor has to do it. That's what you're under.
So we'll see. So right now the Gemara is trying to understand what shot is the Bechor, right? Because first we just said Bechor means the oldest. So it says who says it means the oldest? Maybe it means only Bechor, right? Bechor, yes. Everybody else, no. And maybe if there's a Bechor, there's no mitzvah at all. So the Gemara says no. If he dies, the Torah says it's still mitzvah. Even I the aim of them is cotton, right? Maybe what it means is that the cotton died. But Rachman al Yabi and Bechor. No, maybe it means that the cotton died, and the Torah is telling you that the Bechor should go ahead and do Yibam. So the Gemara says, no, Hamir Rachmana, Eishach Belamo. Or you can't think that because we exclude Eishach Belamo, right? And that, right, is there's the case, right, when the young one does not die, the older one dies, right? Maybe say like this: when there is no Bechor, Kidem, Kat, or you get an argument as to what is Kidem or Kadam, right? Kadam. No, okay. So maybe when there is no bechor, when a younger one goes ahead and jumps the line, zacha. Maybe means if one jumps the line and does it because he wants to marry the woman, and there was no bechor, then it works. But if there was the bechor, then we'll say no, the mitzvah wasn't even on him. So no, but you can't be shot either. The pasuk says when the brothers are together. So all brothers are compared to one another. So it doesn't seem like it should work for one, but not work for the other. Maybe it's like this: when there's a bechor, then you have to go to the oldest. When there is no bechor, and then we would not necessarily go ahead if there's no bechor around, then we don't go ahead to the oldest. So lamatani abayi kshisha, what abayi kshisha teach? Mitzvah begadol liyabim, right? The mitzvah by a gadol is liyabim. Lo rotza, if he doesn't want, hochim etza achi bakata, right? If he doesn't want, then you go to the younger brothers. Lo rotza, if you don't want, then chayzin etza gadol, right? So, and therefore you go to the gadol, and has nothing to do with the fact whether there's a bechor or not. So Gemara says, "Ki bechor, ma bechor, bechor so gamar lo, afgal gadol so gamar lo." So say it's like a bechor. The gadol is like a bechor, just like that him being a bechor has different halacha. So to the gadol, halacha is that if he's the oldest one around and no one else wants to do it, the guy was poor and his widow was a very nasty person, right? No one wants to go ahead and do it. You force the oldest. So the kibachor, ma bechor bechor sagar lo, afgado gamar sagar lo. The ema kimiyabim bechor lishkol nachla. Kimiyabim pashalo lishkol nachla. Maybe we say this: when the bechor goes ahead and does Hebrew, maybe only he goes ahead and inherits the estate. However, if one of the other brothers, a non-bechor, goes ahead and does Yibum, maybe he doesn't go ahead and inherit other. So the pasuk says, "Yakum al Shem Achi v'Harei." It says, "Well, he got he came upon it, right? He replaced the brother, and therefore he did it. So therefore he has perfect rights, complete rights to go ahead and inherit the brother." V'Allah bechor de kari rachmana lamai. Awesome. That's my guess. Lamai. Yeah, lamai halchasa. Right. So if that's the case, in the end, so Lamaisa, why does it say Bechor? What is special about the Bechor? Right? Now we learn out there Gadol, that the Gadol that nobody else wants to do, we force the oldest to do it, but why Dafka Bechor? So Gemara says, no, the Griyusa, it's actually a bad thing, right? As we take away, Ma Bechor Eina Nita Karika Muchzak, Afai Eina Daita Karika Muchzak. By Bechor, right? Bechor takes Pishnayim. However, he only takes Pishnayim on the assets that the father has. But if he has, let's say, receivables, if he has future payments, he doesn't get a double portion of that. Only the assets that are in the possession of the father does the Bechor go ahead and get double. So that which inherits of the brother, you only inherit what the brother had. But those receivables, those future payments that he was going to go ahead and get, that isn't exclusive to him. That, I guess, is divided, amongst the brothers. Fine. Nine Mishnah. Mishnah says, right? It's a shame Rebbe Reese isn't here again today, right? He can speak about some of these matters here. So Hanitan ala Shivka, the Nishakra, right? If there were rumors about a man and a Shivka, right, that he had relations, they did znus between the two of them. She was a slave for somebody else, and then she was freed. Oh, all over the Kachavim, that is Gaira, or about a regular, right, or of a Kachavim, or a non-Jew, and then she converts. So now there's a rumor that this guy was with this woman. She was either, a Shivcha, which he wasn't fit for, or she was a non-Jew, also not fit for. And then, right, they became Jewish. Don't go ahead and marry her, right? Don't basically reinforce the rumors about you and that woman. But if he does marry her, right? Well, we can't, if he does go ahead and marry her, there's nothing, we can't go ahead and remove from the marriage. If there are rumors about a man and a Eishasish, right? And a married woman, and then she gets divorced. We'll soon see why she gets divorced. Even so, she gets divorced from her husband. Then, right, we don't want him to go ahead and take this woman in marriage because there were rumors about him and her, and he takes her. Then, this case we even remove. We even remove this case. We'll soon see why. Fine. That was the mission. So, rumors about a man and a woman. If she was just a non-Jew and she converted, then you should never go ahead and give credence to the rumors. We should not go ahead and marry her, but if he doesn't marry, we do not remove him, right, for her from that marriage. But if it's the case that there was rumors about him and a married woman, and then she, gets divorced from that guy and she goes ahead and marries this guy, then we do force him to get rid of her.
Is this an actual Sota or not even, doesn't get that degree of Sota?
So we'll soon see about it. So we'll soon see if there's a testimony. We'll soon see. Let's see. So Gemara says, first of all, Hagiyaris miyahavi. It sounds like if a guy was rumored to be a woman, they were in love, right? And then whatever, there's rumors about it, she converts, and she's okay, time to get married. So wait, she can convert miyahavi. Echad ish shenizgayer l'shon isha. Echad isha shenizgayer l'shon ish. If a man goes ahead and he wants to convert to Judaism for a woman, or a woman wants to go ahead and convert to Judaism to marry a man, or so too in a time people want to go ahead, the Jews are on top, and they want to become part of the nation, the powerful nation, right? They're not become whether it's the people convert out of fear of lions, or they saw a vision that something told them they have to go ahead and convert to Judaism. No, it's not Lishma. Or they see that during the Geir and the Mordechai Esther, people saw that the miracles that happened to the Jews, they want to become Jews. They're not Geirim unless they convert during Bisman, like today when the Jews are not on top. So versus Bisman Hazeh, that's but only nowadays. Like nowadays, in other words, they can only convert when there's no ulterior motive. There's no motive for being part of the powerful Jewish people. There's no motive for love. There's no motive, for out of fear, right? It has to be no motive. That's how it works. So how could you say the rumors about this man with this woman, they were dating, and then, right, all of a sudden she converts? Well, she converted to be with her man, right? She converted so she can marry this Jew. It doesn't work. Kulam gerim heim. The law is like the opinion of all that all of them are gerim. If that's the case, if that's the case, so then if she can convert for marriage, let him go ahead and marry the woman. Right? What's the problem with him marrying this woman who just converted for him? So the answer is Mishum Ravasi, because of the case of Ravasi, Ravasi, Hasim Imcha, Akashas Pev, Velazas, Vasai. So the pasuk in this way, it says remove, curve things from people's from mouths And Rashi explains it means that you should do actions that won't cause others, right, to speak ill. Right. So therefore, right, if this guy goes ahead and marries this recent convert, everyone says, oh yeah, he was, he was right. He was dating her from before, and everyone knows, and therefore it's going to be in every WhatsApp chat, and therefore it's going to create, right, this talk. So therefore, don't give credence to, don't give ammunition for people to send to their forward WhatsApp. Right. In the Kabbalah, getting the Muslim Mashiach. Speaking of which, we're not Makabal Gator than the Muslim Mashiach. The Mashiach, because everyone's going to become part of the Jewish people. Some of them did not accept Gerim during the days of David and Shlomo because everyone wanted to be a Jew then. And Amar Rabbi Elazar, my cross pasuk, hey Gur Yagur Efes Mil. You see, Migir Idcha Alecha Yipol. Right, he who wants to convert without me convert, and those people, right, to convert with the Jews in time is not with them, then ultimately in the end you will rest them. In other words, we see over here that they could only go ahead and convert during bad times when the Jews are suffering, and that's when Hashem is leading the people. But other than that, then they would not be able to be taken. Fine. Now let's get to the second case. So the first case, right, we discussed was just the Geras. Okay, well, we said the Geras is good, and he should not go ahead and give credence to the rumors. He does go ahead and marry her, not a good thing, but you can stay. We can't go ahead and say you had to divorce her. The next case, she was married to somebody else. There were rumors about this guy and this woman, right? She got divorced, and oh, look at that. She married that guy. See, I told you, right? I told you, I had good information, right? Amar Rav Uve Edim. We're not talking about rumors. We're talking about there are witnesses that she was with this other man. She was witnesses with this other man, not just rumors. So she says, I'm thinking, the Shachif Rav Amar Laish Maisa. Rav must have been falling asleep when he said this. See, there's no way he could have said this, right? It's a mistake. Why? The Tanya would have Raisa, Hanitan al Eishes Ish, Vahitzia al Yado, the Nizgar Shemidachazir Acher. So if there's rumors about a man and another woman, and then she leaves that guy, then she okay? So right. So
married to
Reuven, and there were rumors about Shimon and his wife and Marsha. Actually, I don't know Marsha's their mother's name, right? And Diane, right? Yeah, I was thinking like a random name, right? So he says Diane. I was thinking like an American name. Right? So he says so Diane, right? So Diane is married to Reuven, and then her and Shimon. So she gets divorced from Reuven, and she marries Levi.
She couldn't get married to Shimon.
No.
Right.
She's not supposed, right? She marries Levi. So everyone says, oh, look, the rumors are wrong, right? Obviously, if she was with Shimon, then fine. So she marries Levi and she gets divorced from Levi. Now she comes back to Shimon. If a woman, there was rumors about a married woman, and then she got divorced, and then she went ahead and got married and divorced from Levi. If Shimon goes ahead and marries her, the original rumors, then he does not have to go ahead and divorce.
Okay, I don't understand. When in the Torah is also rumors like a fact? Like, what does that do?
So let's see.
Fact is not a rumor.
Let's see. All right, good question. Good question. Hey Chidami. If there are witnesses, I said if there are witnesses, right, that she was with Shimon, right? Diane was with Shimon. Now there's halacha, asur lebal, asur lebayil. She's asur not only to her marriage, she has to get divorced, but she's even asur to be with the man who she was with, right? Who she committed adultery with, right? So of course we would force Shimon to divorce her. Right, and if she does, we said lo yaitzi. We don't force her to leave. So if there are witnesses that we should be allowed to force her to leave, elav, rather not. The lack them. There were no witnesses. There were just rumors about her and Shimon. Then she married Levi, divorced him, and and only the reason is why we allow her to go and stay with Shimon is because she married Levi in between. That basically sort of killed the rumors because she didn't go directly to Shimon. She went to Levi first and married him for 2 years and came back to Shimon. It was of that, Mafkinan. But if she didn't go to Levi, she married Shimon. It sounds like in this No. She was rumored to be. She was married to Reuven.
God, right.
There were rumors.
Right, not Shimon.
There were rumors about her and Shimon.
Right. And she's married now, Shimon. Not the.
No.
Yeah.
So once she marries Levi,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah.
once she marries Levi,
Yeah.
that basically should end all the rumors about her and Shimon.
Right.
Because
right.
if she was with
don't
Shimon,
realize that situation.
right.
Okay.
So therefore, this Bryson says, if she comes back to Shimon
Yes.
and she marries him, we don't force her to leave. Why?
Because she
Because the
don't realize
rumors
that-
were done and there were no witnesses. Right. But it sounds like if there was no Levi, there's rumors about her and Shimon, she divorced Ruvain and goes to Shimon, then we would remove her. That's what it sounds like, even without witnesses. So that's why Rav Sheish is asking Rav, must be Rav was falling asleep. So Rav says, I love Hachi Mafkina. So Rav, no, who did the Afagadul Asa, Acher Bafsika Lakala. Right? No, even if there was no Levi, she was rumors about her, right? Diane with Shimon, and then she divorced Reuben and went back to Shimon. If there were witnesses, then we forced her to leave Shimon. Then we don't force her to leave. It's just rumors. It's not the right thing to do because we said earlier you shouldn't cause people to speak Lashon Hara, but we don't force to leave.
The reason don't kill her is because there's no hasra.
Well, in the other case, right,
Like she has
exactly,
no witness.
right, yeah, right. Witnesses means right, yeah.
Right. I'm saying there must be no hasra.
V'haki kamar. This is what it means. Afag abdasi acher mafsike lekola. And this is what it means to say, even though, right, that there's no witnesses, and she went ahead and she married Levi first, and then got divorced. Now she married mafsike lekola. Even though there's a way, basically the rumors died down. Nevertheless, it's coming to teach you. She should not go ahead and marry Shimon. If she does marry Shimon, then we don't force her to leave. So Meisvei asks a question about when there are no sons. Now Diana was married to Reuben, and let's say there were no children, because what's going to be the issue? If there are children and there's rumors about her and Shimon, then there's a possible with Mamzerim. Because she's an Ish. Mamzerim, if Reuben wasn't the father, if Shimon was the father, if the adulterer was the father. But if she does have sons, then she doesn't leave. Now, if she has sons and then she marries Shimon, stay married. Why? Because if people see that we make Shimon divorce her, it must be Shimon was with her before and her kids are Mamzerim. So we don't want to cause rumors about Mamzeros, so we don't say.
It's children, not just
Right. Vimbo Ede Tuma. I understand if there's witnesses to her being Mizana, I feel Yesha Kamaban and Taitse. If it's Asalabal, and if there are witnesses there, right? So then you, of course, right, Taitse. So Rav Mutlamasnisan, Yesh Labana, Yesh Lane, right? So Rav says our Mishnah. The reason why our Mishnah says that you go ahead and believe that even though she has children, right? Nevertheless, since there are witnesses, therefore, that's the reason why she has to leave Shimon, because she has children. Even though she has children with Reuven, we still force her to leave Shimon because they're witnesses. Because she's us, right? Why is Rav forced to go ahead and say, I'm just talking about a case of she has children, nevertheless, since there are witnesses there, we make her leave Shimon. The Tama Deika Aiden, the reason is because there's witnesses Mafkida. Like Aiden, but if there were no witnesses and she had children, then she would not leave. Luke, mate, why don't you establish our mission to be the case? She has no kids at all. And Afa, God, like Aiden, there are no witnesses there, you should still leave because we don't want rumors to be you with another Jewish man. So Marava, no, the Rav says, why did Rav establish like this? Because the wording of the mission was difficult to him. My area, the Tani Hotziua, Lisni Hotzia. Why does it say in the Mishnah, right? Hanitan al Eishes Ish. The rumors about a man with a married woman. The Hotziua, right? It sounds like Beis Din forced her to get divorced. Not that she happened to have gotten divorced, right? But Hotziua, right? It says Hotziua, right? Beis Din. So why would Beis Din get involved and force a man to divorce a woman? It must be why, right? Ella, right? Ella call it Sia. The Beis Din is referring to Beis Din. Beis Din with the mafki, right? Because Beis Din could only remove her from her marriage if there are witnesses there. So obviously the Mishnah is talking about witnesses there. So since there are witnesses there, even though there are children, nevertheless you have to divorce. V-boy there, you can say Hani Masisa Rebbe, or they say this Mishnah is according to Rebbe. The Tanya. Ruchul yoytze v'isha chogeres b'sinar. Right, the perfume seller guy used to go door to door, sell his perfumes to all the housewives. Right. So this guy leaves, right, whatever it is, and you see the woman, she's walking the door, she's fixing her skirt, right, fixing her clothes. So Amar Rebbe, since this is a disgusting matter, right, it doesn't look right, it's positive, right, so therefore Tate say, right, we should, according to Rebbe's Barmacher, he says, out of here. Right, Lamala min akila. Yeah, mailman, right? Right, Akila. Also, if there's spit or something in the bedroom, right? Recent saliva in the bedroom, right? So it must be that from having relations with this peddler. So I'm a Rebbe. Since it was disgusting, so therefore she has divorced. Another case, to the page. So there says the shoes were flipped over underneath the bed. Since that means I'm a Rebbe. So since it's disgusting, therefore takes it. So we see according to Rebbe. According to Rebbe, rumors are sufficient enough that we say, divorce. Right? This is unacceptable. Like where it says. So the shoes are flipped over. So see shoes there. What do you mean? See shoes there. The shoes of the peddlers are not. Rather, it means that the place of the shoes. I guess he put his shoes there. While he had committed adultery. So therefore, that's the reason why there was a space for shoes there, and therefore that's what it means. And therefore, Rebbe, even based on rumors, will force a divorce. All right, we'll stop here.